Hey guys, it's Ben. Going to talk to you about LoopX hesitantly and cautiously. But before we get to that, we talked about the crypto bloodbath yesterday. Looks like Bitcoin had a little bit of a recovery today, up 16%. I think it was down 25 previously, but we saw everything red yesterday, and now we see everything green. Some of these green, by 55%, 55% swing in one day, pretty incredible. But just a few to note: Neo up 40%. Ethereum is up 19, Cardano 22. These are a couple that we follow, but these things were down at least 20%, many of them, and now they're up just as much as they went down. So, things are coming back a little bit, but don't get too excited. If we look at the chart for Bitcoin, and we'll clean this up a little bit, we see these spikes, right, where it takes a nice dip down. Let's see the green trace that we care about. It takes a nice dip down, comes up, and then it goes down again, right? So here we've got a peak. We took a nice dump. It might come up a little bit and then continue on its way down. We don't know. So don't think that the sell-off is over yet. It may start to slow down, but at least we didn't take another 25% dump. Or, hey, it could go up. The market goes three directions, right? Sideways, up or down. We don't know what it's going to do. But don't think that it's over necessarily. Good news is at least it's not down more today. Which is good for the rest of these cryptocurrencies. But as we see, like we talked about, Bitcoin was taking a beating. What did everything else do? It took a beating with it. Bitcoin is up. What's everything else doing in the top 100 coins? Well, for the most part, they're all up quite a bit. So we've got a lot of correlation there. And of course, what Bitcoin's doing will have an effect on these lending ICOs that we're getting in. All right, LoopX. I said I wasn't going to bring you new ICOs. This is a post ICO, and it's actually an ICO that a couple guys on our team got into, and a couple, including myself, didn't. And we made an agreement, we're not going to show anything on this channel that we don't have unanimous support for internally with our team. So we did not bring it to you guys or do any videos on LoopX on our channel because we didn't have consensus. But with some news that we had come out today on LoopX. We've been following them obviously since a couple of our guys are in it. It's looking like an interesting opportunity that I'm going to take advantage of. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. You can make your own decision. It may not feel comfortable to you. I'll talk about a couple different options. Do whatever you're comfortable with. Don't do what I'm doing. If you're not comfortable with it, I'm just giving you information. All right, so what is LoopX? It's another lending ICO. And let's go to their white paper. Where's the good stuff here? Follow them, yeah, preamble. I got all sorts of stuff for their white paper. What does it do? How does it work? They are a trading algorithm and software. It's nothing new, but that's what they're going to be using. They have great confidence in their own LoopX trading algorithm, and they said that they've been developing it starting in late September 2016. Certainly no way to validate that, but that's what they're talking about. The software will give us the opportunity to make more money online than we could do in real life. All right. Our software handles over, I believe that's a comma, not a decimal, but 10,000 trades per second and calculates over 100 currencies at a time. So it sounds like they have some type of automated trading software that they're using and strategy that they've implemented. And 10,000 trades per second sounds to me like high frequency trading, but it could be, hey, we're capable of doing this much, which, maybe they're trading on a 10-minute time frame, a day time frame. I have no idea, but at least at minimum it's either HFT or they can have a capacity of up to 10,000 trades per second, which would mean as their initial investment grows or their trading pot grows as people lend money, they can scale at least up to 10,000 trades per second. So we're going to reach out to them and see if we can get some clarification. Don't know if they'll respond. They're claiming profits bigger than or up to 10%. And again, we don't know what that time frame is. Is that a minute? Is that 5 minutes? Is that a day? Is that 2 days? We don't know. We'll ask for some details and see what they say. But at least that's what they're claiming in their paper. Why LoopX? Yeah, the opportunities are now for making lots of good money. Okay, sounds good. Summary: they had their Christmas pre-sale right before Christmas on the 20th, and then at the beginning of January they had their ICO. Now this went quick, especially the first few rounds were done in seconds. They are a ERC20 token. Do they say that here? Let's see. Roadmap before we keep going down. Launched 2018. They did that. They followed the roadmap pretty closely. Let's see. End date. Yep, they did that. lending to 2018, and at least on their front of their page, 2 hours 11 minutes before lending starts, and they're sticking to that so far. So far they're following their roadmap pretty well, although they've had a couple bumps in the road. We'll talk about that. They're saying exchange, internal exchange, and external exchanges on 2018. So far it sounds like they're doing the internal first, which is what we want to see. We don't know what their plans are for which exchanges and when. We'll stay tuned for it. All right, getting past that, 70 cents to 130. So they closed at $1.30. We'll talk about lending as it relates to these prices here in a few minutes. Token distribution. So ICO, they did 6 million tokens, or 10 million total, I believe, for the entire, 10 million for the entire platform. So they've got some left over. 6 million for the ICO, 1.2 for the Christmas sale. That looks like 600,000 for referrals. Now they are going to do a special lending promotion that we can all take advantage of that's separate from this token distribution, and we'll talk about that. What type of coin? Proof of stake. We have a proof of stake or staking video coming. We'll explain that. They have an explanation of staking in here, and I didn't like it, so we'll address that a little bit. Where do they have their staking? Balance bonuses. You can simply stake your LoopX coins in your wallet to earn new coin, and up to 8% per month for the first year. So that's just a quick rundown of their white paper, at least the important details. We'll come back to the dashboard on their website. Let's see, 14,000 active users. They received quite a bit of Ethereum. Now, they did say that they transferred their Ethereum that they received during the ICO into USDT or Tether, which obviously has stayed around about $1 per coin. If that's true, or if I understood that correctly, they shouldn't have taken too much of a beating, obviously, with this downturn. So don't know if that's really true or not. That's what we read on their Telegram previously. Now the detail, I guess, potential game changer. We talked about MoneyX and LibreCoin yesterday, and how these guys, in light of what these cryptocurrencies have been doing, and after BitConnect's exit scam, they need to do something to differentiate themselves, something to prove to us that they can pay out coin, something to garner more interest, because these ICOs that we're selling out in seconds now have a whole bunch of fearful people don't want to get into it, which means there's been no buy side volume for anything. Right here, Libra, lots of people trying to sell, nobody trying to buy. So they need to do something to fix that and get people interested. This is what LoopX sent out a few hours ago. LoopX will react to the current market situations. These guys are adapting to what's happened. Obviously, their ICO finished before the BitConnect exit scam and before this big crypto beating, and they're going to do something about it. So as everyone in crypto is aware, we're in a bearish market trend, or for those that don't know what bearish means, it means a downtrend. The bottom is near and the market is working itself out. I agree with them. I don't think it's going to go much below 5,000, but hey, nobody knows. It certainly won't continue on the downtrend at the speed it's been going, because it's unsustainable. Coins will go to zero. I don't think that'll happen. Don't get crazy with your holdings at the moment. Don't panic. If you're not a professional trader, you shouldn't make these decisions on your own. No, we're not going to listen to you for trading advice. We're going to listen to ourselves. It's a little bit poor English there. We're professionals and are making those decisions on a daily basis. We know how to play the bull market. We know how to play the bear market. So bull market's when the market's going up. Bear market's when the market's going down. Now you might ask, how do you make money when the market's going down? Right? Everyone understands when the market's going up. Market's going up. When it's doing this ridiculous thing, you buy it and it keeps going up, and then you sell somewhere. And you might be thinking to yourself, hey, when the market's going down like it is in this section of the graph, if I buy it and I sell it, unless I'm somehow bought in this little dip and then sold up here, I'm not going to make money if I waited too much longer, because the thing just kept going down. So how do I make money when it's going down? Well, in a bear market, or when the market's going down, there's something called shorting, and someone brought this up in the previous video, and we'll do a video on what shorting is. But essentially, you can through an exchange, you can buy shares that you immediately lend out, or the exchange lends shares to you that you immediately sell, and as the price goes down, you buy to recover those shares and you make the difference. So if the price was $100 for the coin and it went down to $50, you would essentially borrow those shares at 100. You would sell them to somebody that wanted to buy. When the shares went down to $50, you would buy shares or coin back at that point, and you would make the difference between where you sold it at when it was high and where you bought it at when it was low, and that difference would be $50. So as the coin went down, or as the stock went down, you would make $50 on its way down, depending on where you sold. So that's a quick overview of what shorting is. If that didn't make sense, we'll do a more in-depth video. It's a little bit complicated to wrap your head around, but it sounds like these guys are talking about, hey, we know how to make money when the market's going up, going down. Sounds like they may have some shorting strategy. Situations like this, the average investor could lose his patience, therefore a lot of his investments. Okay, announcement one. This is the good juicy stuff here. As you maybe already heard, we will pay out interest during our first 30 days in Bitcoin. All right, this is huge. This is absolutely huge. Libra coin, I'm lending right now. Some of you might be too. I'm getting a daily interest of whatever it is, around 2%. What I need to do at this point is convert my Libra coin, my USD balance to Libra coin. Then I need to come over here to the exchange. I need to type in, I want to sell a certain amount of coin. Oh, that's buy. I want to sell a certain amount of coin. I want to sell it at a certain price, and I hit sell. Well, the problem is there's a bunch of people trying to sell. There's nobody trying to buy. In fact, over the past day, we're still only at 2.7 BTC of volume, which means there's only been 2.7, which is what BTC's at 7 grand, so a little bit over 14 grand worth of volume in buys and sells, period. And there's no one sitting here in the order stack to sell to that want to buy. So I can't actually realize that interest. What LoopX is saying, and this is a great transition for them, is lend with us and we won't pay you back your daily interest, whatever it is, 0.5%, 1%, 2% in USD or in coin, our coin. We're going to give it to you directly in Bitcoin. Now I don't have this issue of I need to convert USD to Libra or to LoopX coin and then sell in an exchange where right now everyone's afraid and may not be on the buy side. I'm actually able to realize my interest immediately. Actually, we'll go back through their white paper here, that they will pay out weekly, if I'm remembering correctly. For one single reason, we want to establish a big user base, right? I said yesterday, they need to do something to differentiate themselves and get people interested in their coin. This is what they're going to do to get people interested in their coin, to grow the community and get people lending. It's going to be paying out in BTC. They watch what happened and they're adapting, which is great. And get the foundation we need to succeed through 2018 and beyond. Without a strong community, all platforms are likely to disappear just after a few months. This is absolutely correct. So this is great news. And for people that got in during the ICO, which isn't me, you can see that let's see, wallets. I don't have any. I'm a sad person with no LoopX. Actually, during their ICO, they paid out their coin directly to an ERC20 wallet. If you don't know what that is, we talked about it in previous videos. You can Google it, but basically they sent the coin, the LoopX coin, directly to the investors, to their Ethereum-based ERC20 wallets. They are opening lending for people that got in during the ICO at $8. So we saw in their white paper, and of course most of this it doesn't affect, but maybe there's people that'll watch this that did get in the ICO. Oh, come on. I think it was $1.30 that they ended at. I'm going to give us all a seizure again doing this. Yeah, started at 70 cents, $1.30. So if we do some simple math here, see 8 divided by 1.3, that is a six time return for at least the value they're giving you for lending. And if you got in at 70 cents, that is a 11x return. So yeah, obviously a pretty good return. Now, one thing we're a little bit concerned about, and Libra did this, they allowed lending at what, $5 or $6 before the exchange started. Well, when you do that, you're messing with the free market of the coin and what the natural price should really be, and it may be hurting them more than it's helping. And it's hard to tell. There's an incentive then to lend. You're supposed to tie up coin, but at that point, if people are lending at $6 a week before, new people are coming in and the coin's at $1. Maybe they're not going to be interested in buying it all because that price differential, and we're kind of seeing that here. Now, interestingly enough, MoneyX, who has not opened their lending program, before I get to this, Libra still has a price floor. I think it's what? Let's see if it'll let me enter an order. Will it show up? And their website's been a little bit flaky. No, it's not showing up. All right, they had a price floor around $2 or $3. It says right now the coin's at $2.80. MoneyX, I think it was $1.80 yesterday, and if you check this out, they removed that price floor, and just like I said, the other day we saw no one on the buy side. We only saw people on the sell side. I said as soon as they remove a price floor, the price of this coin is going to dump, and it did. Look at that big red candlestick. It came down to, I think, around a penny and then it came up to around, I don't know, $1 or $2, and then now it's down to 37 cents. And this kind of sucks for those that got in during the ICO. Cheapest you get in was 60 cents, and now it's worth less than what you got in at, unless you bought it a penny, right? That'd be pretty good. And then you sold it. I saw it at 60 cents earlier today, and I think it went up to $1 or $2. Now, right now, we've at least on MoneyX fixed the volume issue, and I tested this out. I sold 20 coins, which is the minimum you could sell. I bought 10 coins, and these orders filled immediately. So at least there are people interested. There are 46 pages of buy orders. There's 44 pages of bids to sell. So at least there's volume here, right? In a 24-hour period, 45 BTC worth of volume. Libra, of course, it logged me out. I believe it was around 2. So LoopX, on the other hand, and went off on that tangent. They are opening this lending at $8. Is it going to cause the Libra problem? It might. However, they're doing something different to garner interest, which is announcement number 2. So announcement number 1, this relates to anyone that gets in during the exchange, when the exchange opens in probably a week or so, and people that got in during the ICO. They're going to be paid in BTC, and they're going to be able to lend at $8. And actually, I believe the lending at $8, that's going to open in 2 days. And then I also believe this announcement too happens in 2 days. It's a special announcement. This affects all of us that didn't get in during the ICO. We'll have a special lending week with fixed interest rates for new users only. So people that bought in during the ICO, this doesn't apply to them. This is something different LoopX is doing to try and garner interest in this coin and to get people signed up for the platform. You can find the interest rates on our website or down below. They're way above normal interest rates. So we saw LendConnect, excuse me, I got a cough. LendConnect, they did a promotion of 5% a day, and that certainly garnered a lot of interest when we saw that the price of their coin went up quite a bit. These guys are doing a week of special rates on, these guys are European or something, 2/9/2018 in a couple days. They're doing 8% return for the day, then 6%, 5/4, 5/4, 5/6, and then this will be a special announcement. So this is pretty sweet. You can get into the platform in a couple days, it looks like, and take advantage of these interest rates. However, there's a little nuance to this. Everybody who got left out during the ICO has a chance to get their initial investment back way earlier than they ever thought, and I got a little Excel file we'll go through to show that. And where does it say here? We will announce the interest their special lending day. Okay. After the first week, everyone who participated will be able to lend LoopX with us in our internal exchange. Okay, so that's saying that after the 9th, after this week is done, the internal exchange opens and everyone else will be able to buy coin and lend at that point. What they aren't saying, and maybe I'm missing it here, where are we? These guys can't, they've got a fixed amount of coin. There was 7.2 million worth of coin that was sold through their ICO. And they've got other coin reserved for referrals for their own platform, etc. So they can't sell without the internal exchange being open. They can't sell a bunch of new coin right now. What are they going to do instead? They are going to accept new users that sign up. They're going to accept Bitcoin and Ethereum to allow them to lend here. So people aren't going to log into their website, create an account, and lend by buying coin. They're just going to directly send BTC or Ethereum over and lend that way. Now, a whole bunch of people on their Telegram were freaking losing their heads over this, feeling like that they're getting screwed, that it's not fair to the folks that bought during the ICO, and they need to understand and settle down that this isn't the best for them if their goal was to buy during the ICO and dump everything on day one, right? If you wanted to dump everything on day one, what you want to do is incentivize everybody as much as possible on day one to come to the platform and buy coin and pump the price up. Now, if you wanted to have add longevity to the platform, you need to do something to incentivize people to get into the platform, to give more money to the lending side, right? If I came into LoopX and bought LoopX on an internal exchange, I took BTC, bought LoopX, say from you if you owned it, and I gave you my BTC to get that coin, and then I lent that coin back to the LoopX platform. Well, the LoopX guys didn't get new Bitcoin or Ethereum, which is really what they need to trade and make money. They just got LoopX, which has a fragile price and a fragile volume, like we're seeing with these guys, and only one place to trade it. They really can't make money with their own LoopX coin on the first couple days. What they can do is take a bunch of BTC and Ethereum and start trading that immediately with their trading bots that they talked about, and turn that into a return. Now, this is a little bit suspect, and that's why I say I bring this to you cautiously. While the back end on their website looks good, and here it is, they've got some interest that they're showing that they've been able to generate. I don't think anyone's lending right now. This is just kind of, hey, look at what we've been able to return. Their lending page, they show you what the weekly bonus interest rates will be, what the capital release is. Their exchange is coming soon. Wallets we looked at, it's decent looking, and actually I don't think this is a template. From what we could tell, they've built this all on their own. But you may be thinking, well, they had their ICO, why are they allowing people to lend before the internal exchange opens, before the ICO folks that got in can lend by sending over Bitcoin and Ethereum without actually buying the coin? This sounds like it could be a huge coin grab for an exit scam. Now, one of our guys that did get into the ICO, he had a whole bunch of trouble getting his coins. There were some technical issues. He reached out to their support team, and they were very responsive, quickly getting back to him and resolving the issue and making sure everyone that had a problem during the ICO got their coin situation figured out. And I'll show you why it's a little bit complicated, because they're sending coin back to people that they purchased through an ERC20 contract, and people were typing in the wrong addresses. They weren't setting up ERC20 contracts in their own wallets correctly. People get into these things and don't really understand what they're doing, which is why I guess we need to make some more how-to videos. But lots of people are having issues, and their support was responsive in helping people get everything sorted out. Despite their technical issues, they certainly haven't exit scammed yet. However, this is a little bit suspicious, at least at the first order. Why are they doing this? Why are they taking more Bitcoin and Ethereum, not giving coin out, and then doing these ridiculous rates? Well, it's a promotion, but it's a fair critique. This could be a pre-promotion exit scam, right? We really don't know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an account, like you already saw. I've got one here. Once these wallets open up, there's no wallet addresses for sending Ethereum or Bitcoin. I'm assuming that'll open up in the next day or so. I'm going to transfer over a few $100s of my own money worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum, and I will get a lend started for myself to take advantage of these interest rates. You guys can do the same. We'll have the sign up link down below. I'll show you how to use it, because it's a little bit confusing. You can set up an account, you cannot set up an account, you can set up an account and wait and see what happens. We'll keep doing updates, but I am going to do a loan, a small loan. We're going to see if they pay out, and if I remember correctly in their white paper, here we go. We always look for those opportunities to make profits bigger. Here we go. Larger than 10%, which will be paid out to our members on a weekly basis. So maybe they're saying they'll make 10% per week, and it sounds like they will pay us out weekly. So lots of other lending platforms pay their dividends out on a daily basis. LoopX will receive weekly interest, not daily interest. Now, a couple things that sound good to me about this platform is that they're going to collect more Bitcoin, Ethereum. I think it's good for them to have more real coin that they can trade with and actually build a profit. So, answer number one, could this be a scam? Yes. Might they steal all my money here? Potentially. If that's not the case, and you guys will find out watching our update videos if I get screwed or not. If they don't, and they really have a trading platform, then it was good that they got more Ethereum and Bitcoin here. What's also good is that they're paying, I think, interest weekly as opposed to daily. Now, the good side to that is if you've got a real platform, a real trading platform, I think it's difficult to really realize that interest every day, because your bots may not do what you think. It may have a tougher time producing the dividend that you thought it was, and it may be tougher to move money around. So we see on these other platforms, we see a number show up in USD per day. We don't actually know what they did to produce that, or if it's real. It's just a number on the screen. I think, at least for myself, having done quite a bit of trading on our team, it would be easier to weekly realize the interest and then weekly manage getting money moved over back to the platform and pay people. And you know what? If they're going to pay, really going to pay in Bitcoin for 30 days, they're going to need some time to facilitate that, right? You can't just magically make a return and then facilitate getting Bitcoin into all these wallets, real Bitcoin in all these wallets people can withdraw immediately every day. That would probably be a bit of a nightmare. Weekly sounds like it makes sense to me. So I think that sounds good. If they're not scamming this announcement to get more people signed up, I think is great. And from a kind of a promotional perspective, and other people that are watching, if you and other YouTubers do the same thing, if you guys see that, hey, we're putting money in, after a week we actually got these interest rates, and after a week we actually saw Bitcoin show up in our wallet that we could withdraw. Well, when they finally open their internal exchange a week after this promotion starts, having proven that to people, at least demonstrated it, will give a lot more confidence for the platform. You know, it's not like some of these other ICOs that are struggling to get people into the exchanges and actually increasing coin price. And I'm not just picking on MoneyX because it's the only thing that is loading for me. And of course, their lending hasn't started. But right now, you can't see that I can put coin into MoneyX, lend it, get an interest return, and then sell it on the exchange and pull coin out. Now, you can see us do that in LendConnect, but you aren't seeing that in MoneyX. LoopX has the opportunity to set themselves aside because nobody else is paying in Bitcoin. And if we can demonstrate to everyone else that this is happening, it's another opportunity to grow the community quite a bit more. So we've already got, 15,000 or 14,000 active users. Here is an incentive to grow that user base. And as this grows, right, and people see that came in through this promotion, they've already got an account signed up, they're getting paid in Bitcoin, and hey, they can choose once they get their interest, hey, maybe I'm going to take half that Bitcoin and buy LoopX at a low price on the first day of the ICO. Well, that's great, right? Maybe take half your Bitcoin and do that, pull the other half out and support the platform. If it's looking like they're really going to pay in BTC, this gives them an opportunity to stand out. The other reason I think it's great that they're going to pay in Bitcoin, what's one of the issues with platforms that pay out in USD? Well, they pay out in USD, you convert USD, in this case, to MoneyX when their lending opens. I then, like we talked about before, have to convert USD to MoneyX, bring it over to the exchange, and I'm on this red side where I'm trying to sell something, and I have to marry that or match that sell order with someone on the buy side, which of course LibreCoin, which I'm not going to log back into, has no one on the buy side. Well, every time you pay out interest and somebody wants to withdraw that interest, if they don't reinvest, you've now created another seller. You have not created another buyer. So you potentially, especially at the beginning of the platform, have a scenario where you're generating more and more and more and more sell orders, and maybe that outpaces your buy orders due to the lending platform. Whereas if you didn't have the lending platform like MoneyX doesn't right now, there's at least buys and sells on both sides, and the people that got in during the ICO or others that started lending aren't just trying to dump coin to get Bitcoin out immediately. Now, LoopX, if they pay in Bitcoin, guess what won't be happening? People won't be taking USD, converting it to LoopX coin, and then trying to sell it on the exchange, generating a whole bunch more sellers, which is the issue we just talked about with these other ICOs. Instead, they'll just pay you in BTC, which you can withdraw, or people can take that and buy. If they want to buy more coin, you've now created another buyer, not another seller. If people want to get into this lending platform, they don't go buy a bunch of LoopX coin from people that converted USD to LoopX from an interest that they gained that day and then sold it to the new person trying to get in. They have to buy from someone that was holding coin, not someone that generated coin through an interest payment. So I think potentially what I'm trying to say here, you've now got a scenario where you produce more buyers than sellers, as opposed to these other ICOs that are opening up with more sellers than buyers. What does that do? That should increase the price of the coin, which for myself, if this all works out, I'm going to lend. I'm going to see what happens at the end of this period. If I really get my Bitcoin, I'll probably pull half of it out. I'll probably take half of it and buy LoopX on day one, maybe even buy some more if this is looking valid. Let's see what my other notes say here, if there's anything I'm forgetting. Like we said, this could be a scam. It might not. Stay tuned. Follow this with caution. Make your own decisions with caution. I'm certainly cautious. I'm not going to put a whole bunch into this, but I've got a little bit of Bitcoin sitting around. I can throw some of it around and we'll learn together. Everyone else on their Telegram is freaking out about this announcement number 2. I don't think that they're considering the benefits it brings the platform. It's certainly not the benefit that maximizes price on day one. If they want to maximize price on day one, maybe you start this fixed interest rate on the first day of the internal exchange. So basically it doesn't help everyone who's trying to pump and dump. But what it does do is help grow the community and lock people into loans. And sure, they're accepting Ethereum and Bitcoin, or they're not doing it through LoopX coin. You can kind of think of these ICOs with having multiple business models, right? One business model, one technology that they have is their coin that they released. Another business model that they have is the exchange that they open, right? They get paid based on their exchange. And here for MoneyX, it's 0.5%. Every time someone buys or sells, they get 0.5%. That's another business model for them. Now think of kind of a pseudo hedge fund, right? Hedge fund, what do? You give them your money and they take it and invest it. And of course it gets locked up for a period of time. Hey, what's that sound like? That sounds like a lending program. Now certainly they don't pay out 1% per day, and it's not done the same way these ICOs do, but these guys are kind of like a hedge fund. And through this promotion, they're raising money for that side of their business. You can think of it as their hedge fund side of their business, where they're going to pay people after receiving Ethereum and Bitcoin, as opposed to using the other side of their business, which would be their LoopX coin. So I don't think everyone on their Telegram that's losing their heads over this are considering the benefits that it brings to the platform long term. Certainly not in the short term for day one, but long term, I think it's great. This gets demonstrated, and more people see that, and they'll have an interest in getting in. So the first 30 days, being paid in Bitcoin, this is why we're going to get into this. You do what you want, or you can sit on the sidelines and watch what happens to us. Make your own decisions. If you're risk averse and you think everything's a scam, please spend your time doing something else, because you're only going to frustrate yourself listening to me. We're hoping this isn't a money grab, but you'll find out over the next week or so what happens. Please like, subscribe, and comment. We, like I said, are going to reach out to LoopX and try and get some technical details from them on what they're doing with money that gets lent. There's a couple other ICOs we've reached out to and have responded, but we haven't gotten where we want to with those. Maybe I'll show you some of the responses we got. Several won't respond to us, and like I said before, we're trying to get our subscriber count up, because a lot of people don't want to talk to you unless you have around 1,000 subscribers. So, it's been great that we've had some traction. We've got, 258 subscribers now. We want to get this to 1,000, have a little bit more weight behind ourselves when we go to these platforms and ask for information and try and nail them down on technical details of how they're actually going to take our coin and turn it into anything. So please subscribe. That'll help us out and help us as a community decide what we're going to do as these platforms continue to move forward, and as we see what happens with this Bitcoin and this cryptocurrency market. Yesterday we talked about that market cap, right? It dipped below 300 billion, right? Now we're up to 3.5 billion. Pretty cool. We'll see what happens over the long run. All right, that's enough for now. Let us know what you think. We'll get some educational content out that we talked about before. It should be pretty exciting. One of our guys have been pretty hammering away quite a bit on AI, and I think we're going to do an interesting video, unlike you've seen anywhere else on the crypto ICO crew, on how AI is implemented, how it works, and actually do a little demonstration of how to train a neural network and generate some trades and what that might look like. So stay tuned for that. We've got our staking video coming. We'll do some market structure content. It should be pretty fun. All right, catch you later. Hey, I was talking too quick and forgot to show you a couple things I promised to show you. Real fast, here is a little spreadsheet interest calculator based on this announcement number 2, the promotion they're doing. Assuming they don't exit scam, and again, this is a little bit suspicious, but we talked about why it may or may not be legit. If it is, and they pay out their 8.654%, you will see about 34% return. So if you did $1,000, you'll have $340 at the end of that week. That's excluding their Thursday, the 15th dividend, which they say will be a special announcement. So this could be 40%. Besides that, besides getting your 34 to 40% likely at the end of that first week, right now they're showing, I logged out, but 5 or 6% per day interest that they're generating. Who knows if that's sustainable, or what they're doing. If they're really doing 10,000 trades per day, they could be doing some real damage in the market with how much it's been moving. So I think you could get your initial investment back maybe within a month and a half or less easily, depending on how this plays out. So that's just a quick little interest calculator for you to think about. If they really pay in Bitcoin, and their announcement number 1, they talk about the first 30 days they'll pay in BTC. They don't explicitly say that in announcement number 2, so they could be paying in USD. Could be Bitcoin. I think it's Bitcoin, but we'll verify, and you'll see what happens if we do update videos. This is what you can expect to get in that first week, so that's pretty sweet. Making ourselves whole as soon as possible is what I always try to do, and you should as well. So I thought this might be interesting. And like I said, we'll have the sign up link below. Sign up, don't move money over, sit and wait on the sideline, whatever you want to do. But if you do sign up, you'll be brought to a page that looks like this. There's no explicit sign up button, so you're going to hit sign in. And then once that loads, you have to hit sign up. And when that loads, you type in your information. Of course, you won't use your real name. Make a new email account. Don't use your real phone number. But it asks for an ERC20 wallet. Now, this is not necessary to sign up, but it is necessary if you decide to buy coin on their internal exchange. So we talked about ERC20 wallets before. My Ether wallet is a pretty popular one, but that's typically an online-based wallet, and it's not very secure. We started using Mist, called Ethereum wallet, and what you can do once you set this guy up, and maybe we'll do a tutorial on this at some point, you can just copy your Ethereum address, whether it's this wallet or another one, and you will paste it right in here. And if you buy on the exchange, that coin will be sent over to this address. Now, once you sign up, and I'm not going to do this right now, but they will give you instructions on the information you need to set up your custom token. So once you get past this page, when you scroll down on the next page, they will give you this token contract address, token name, and token symbol, and the decimal place to add this to your ERC20 wallet. With the Mist wallet, it's pretty cool. If you just type in this address, it populated automatically everything else. Hit OK. If you buy on their internal exchange, the coin that you purchase will show up here. It will not show up in your Ether balance because it's not Ether coin. It's a ERC20 wallet, or an ERC20 coin that runs on the Ethereum blockchain network, and you have to add the contract appropriately. So we'll go over this again when I'm finally able to move Ethereum or Bitcoin over. I'll show you how to buy, how to lend, and how to set up a wallet again. And again, do your own research, pick out a wallet that you want to use. This is what we're using now. We're not storing stuff on my Ether wallet, at least on their web application, but make your own choices. All right.